I've never used a UGREEN NAS device before. When I first started looking into it, I couldn't find a single video that went through everything from unboxing to BIOS setup, available features, and what apps were available. So this is that video, the one that I wish existed before I'd ever touched a UGREEN NAS device.
Sheridan Computers, IT, Communications, Support.
Okay, so this is a box we came in, well packaged. This is the third box I've taken out of. So they definitely come very, very well packaged. Let's take it apart and see what we get in the box. So you can see we've got plenty of foam. It's unlikely anything's going to get damaged in transport. You have accessories. So box with accessories in it. I'll get into it. There's a door. First thing you see is a magnetic dust mesh filter. Now the finish is nice on this. It is like a steel finish. We can see we've got the drive bays on the top. They're actually quite nice. Right, so on the front, let me zoom this in a bit. Right, so on the front of it, we have power, we've got LAN, and then your disk status light. So disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, disk 4. There's an SD card slot. We have USB-C, and then there's also a USB 3.2. Now these, let's take one of these out. So these are toolless, and if you can see that, we've got this catch here, and literally push it down, and then that will pull out. So you can sit your hard drive on the top, and then close it shut. Now, apparently these take the 2.5-inch SSDs as well. So I do have one here. So these are going to have to be screwed down. So you've got the two holes at the front for it, and then obviously the two rear. Now what I do notice is this part here, which is where where it pushes into the screw holes in the hard drive, seem to be in the way slightly there. So I'm guessing you're going to have to take them out if you want to fit SSDs in here. And just make sure I'm not talking out my ass. Yeah, so that's not going to line up. So if you do want to use 2.5-inch SSDs, I think you're going to have to just remove this here. So to take that screw out, and then it'll fit fine. So they are toolless. They do feel good quality, these. So it's plastic, but yeah, that doesn't feel flimsy at all. They slot in rather nice. Now, another thing I've just noticed. So the key slots on the front is just, it's not any type of security key or anything. It is just so you could put a screwdriver or anything in there. I mean, that's not a deal killer, but you don't want somebody removing your hard drives. This feels really solid. The Synology ones that we've used are all plastic. These are solid case, and it feels well worth the money. Let's see what we've got on the back. So we have this magnetic cover. Let me turn this around so it's the right way up. So if you can see that, zoom in a little bit. We have DC 19 volt power. There's a reset there. We can see we have LAN 1 and LAN 2. I believe both of these will operate in 2.5 gigabits if you want to use them together, so you could configure lag for them. But one of them is a 10 gig as well. We have two USB 2s, so if you need to plug keyboard and mouse in, you can do that here. There's a USB 3.2, so we can plug hard drives in and pass them through. Now, what is quite interesting on this is that it has a HDMI port. So we've got HDMI. I'm not sure what this is for. We will find out further into the video, but it makes a bit of a difference to see a NAS device, like an all-in-one turnkey solution like this with HDMI on it. Can you use it for watching videos and things? I don't know. We'll plug a console into it and find out what that does. We have this UGREEN dust cover. Zoom that out a bit, girl. So as I mentioned that before, this is quite nice. And you can see it says designed by UGREEN on the back of the case here. If you do need to take these apart, it looks like there's 4 rubber grommets here. We can use them to take it apart and get at the internal hard drive if necessary, which is just a standard 128 gig SSD. So you could swap that if you wanted to. I'm not going to strip it down in this video. Let me at least get it working for what they've asked me to cover. And if we need to break it later, we can do. Let's take a look at what accessories it comes with. So what's in here? Straight away, we've got the 2-year warranty. If you've got any queries about what type of warranty it comes with, it's 2 years. We've got the user manual. Actually, it's quite a in-depth manual. I'm not going to go too much into this because it's upside down for you, and I can't read upside down. So the power supply. Now, one thing I do like to note when I buy devices given to me to take a look at, this is the power supply for it. 19 volts, 7.9 amps, 150.1 watt. Now, the power supply is sturdy and it feels like a decent power supply, which is absolutely what you want on your NAS. We've got the UK power lead. There's 2 that look like Cat 7. Yes, they are. So we've got 2 short Cat 7 patch leads. So you do get 2 keys. Here's one of those keys. And as you can see, it's pretty much just a straight edge. So you can lock the hard drives in place to prevent them being ejected. But as I say, it isn't a security type of key. You could put anything in there basically to turn that. I'm saying not a deal breaker. It does come with a screwdriver and some like the screws to screw the SSDs in. So it does provide you with everything that you need. So it does come with thermal pads for the NVMe drives. So if you are going to put NVMe drives in here, you can put the thermal pads on the top, which will help. Speaking of that, let's take a look at that. There's a hatch on the bottom, an escape hatch. We have 2 screws in it, and I believe this is where you can do your upgrades. We can see we have the 2 M.2 NVMe slots. So we've got the 2 M2 NVMe PCIe Gen 4x4. This is DDR5 RAM, I believe. I think it comes with 8 gig fitted. Yeah, so if you want to upgrade that, that's how we can do that. It does come with the 2 slots. There's something here labelled JMCU1 as well. Sure what that is. At the top, I'd have to have a look. Let's put this plate back on for now. Right, let's look at putting some hard drives in it. This does feel really nice to touch, unless I'm just a complete weirdo. UGREEN did send me the hard drives as well. And the 4 terabyte Ironwolf drives, decent drives, Seagate Ironwolf. I mean, look how they sent me these. How well packed everything is. That's the first thing that caught my eye. And one for packaging, and they've certainly not cheaped out on the packaging. As I said, these are standard Seagate Ironwolf drives. Notice we don't need certified drives, unlike some vendors. I mean, I can understand it in enterprise systems, but in desktop systems, I'm not getting into the whole debate about that. So let's do some fitting. So as I said, we have this here, push that down and pull out. And as you can see, it's just expanded. To fit the drives, I'm just putting them the right way around. Just drop them in. And that is pretty much it. Very, very quick. And they just slide in. Hey, everything feels very, very good quality. Stick the second drive in. So again, put that, pull. And then you see this just part expands. Just drop the drive in. And you'll notice I didn't struggle on the last one to get this in. So you can literally just push it right up. It's not like a struggle to fit them in. And then just clip it in. Yeah, I'm impressed by the quality so far. We've got 2 drives in. What's next? Power it up, I guess. I am interested actually to plug a keyboard and mouse in. Let me, just because of the HDMI thing. Let's get it powered up. So I'll plug the power supply in, I'll plug the network cable in. Right, I've got it set up a bit better so you can see what happens when we power it on. I have hooked the keyboard up, just plugging it into the USB 2 in the back. And I've also hooked yet another capture card up to the HDMI out of the UGREEN so we can see what happens. So let me pull this up. So this you should be able to see the output on the display on the screen here as well. I don't know how many capture cards this computer can take. We'll find out. Right, let's power it on. So power. Now I believe it's Control and F12 that you keep tapping to get in the BIOS on this. So let's just try that. Apparently it operates like a normal PC. Let's give it a look. So you can see the power button has a light in it. You can see the hard drives sequence in there and the LAN. Got no displays yet. Maybe this capture card won't work. Oh, there we go. So we have the boot menu. I'm pressing Control F12 continuously. So it's got Debian installed on the internal drive. So it is running Debian. Let's enter setup. So we're in the BIOS settings. If you're going to spend any amount of time in the BIOS, one thing I have noticed, we're going to advanced and then scroll down to watchdog settings. You can see it's set to enabled, degrees seconds, and it's set to 180 seconds. So 3 minutes. I'm just going to disable this for a minute for this video. We'll save that, F10, yep. That watchdog setting is, if the operating system hasn't booted, it will reboot after 3 minutes, or there's no response, it will reboot the system. If you're going to look at putting some other operating system on this, you're going to want to disable that. But one of the things I'm bringing it up for is, it does it in the BIOS. So even if you're in the BIOS, and that 3 minutes times out, it will reboot while you're in the BIOS. So if you're going to spend more than 3 minutes in the BIOS, adjust the time accordingly. So the date's set right. We have American Megatrends BIOS, build date and times. I haven't tried to update this or anything. So 1st of September 2025. System information, we've got serial number, Intel Pentium Gold 8505. We've got 8 gig of RAM running at, so it's DDR5, 8 gig, and it's running at 4800 megahertz. NVMe slot 1, so this is the onboard one. It is replaceable, so if you're going to put another operating system on it, you could take that out and replace it with another one. Or alternatively, we'll try this at some stage in a future video. Alternatively, you could probably plug a USB hard drive in and then use DD or something just to clone the existing drive. And then if you was going to stick something else on it, do your installation, and if you wanted to revert back, then you can use DD again to restore the image. But it is just a normal 128 gig SSD. Right, let's have a look at this BIOS without rebooting on me this time. So CPU config, it's quite a normal BIOS. It's not come up with no odd things. So we've got turbo mode enabled. There's not much in there. 1200 megahertz CPU. Compared to Synology NASes, it's quite an upgrade. So SATA configuration, enable, disable the controller. No RAID options in there. Didn't expect that because you don't want that. SATA boot, so you can enable or disable SATA boot. You can enable or disable your drives. We've got the delay time. I'm guessing that's spin up time. Power settings. So deep sleep's disabled by default. Power loss. So on power loss, you can leave it to power off. You can set it to automatic power on when it's powered off. And we've got last state. So whatever state it was in when you pulled the power, it will resort to that. If you're using a NAS, it's always a good idea to use a UPS anyway. Interesting option. We've got Wake on LAN. If for some reason you didn't want it all the time, then you can use Wake on LAN. And if you're using pfSense or OpenSense or whatever your user is, if it supports waking devices up and Wake on LAN, handy feature. Got the G3 wake up, RTC wake up from S5, so fixed or dynamic. I say this watchdog timer. So you'll notice we've not rebooted now. But if you enable it, you can set it to, we've got seconds or minutes. And then it's set to 3 by default. I'm just going to leave that off for the purposes of this video. I don't recommend you disable it if you're keeping the UGOS software. If your NAS locks up for whatever reason, it will automatically recover and reboot. I do like that feature actually. So IT8613 Super IO configuration. No idea what that was. Oh, serial port 1 configuration. So enable, there's no serial port on it. Enabled, disabled. It doesn't really matter because it's not got one. Hardware monitor. I'm glad it's got a proper BIOS in it, not one of them weird ones. You've got fan settings, fan start, temperature limit, 45, full fan speed, 85. So you've got your temperature settings you can adjust yourself. Smart fan 1, automatic mode, full on or manual. And then obviously you can adjust these states as well. You can see current system temperature is at 48. Sorry, CPU temperature at 48, system temperature at 33. Then you've got CPU, fan speeds, voltage, memory voltage, network stack configuration. This is, this is actually quite a well-featured BIOS. So LAN boot ROM, is this going to allow me to boot from LAN? It does. You can even set this thing to boot over the LAN. We've got a Pixie boot over IPv4. It can support HTTP. We've got IPv6 support, HTTP again for it. Pixie boot wait time and media detect count. So how long it's going to wait for the network, how long it's going to take for find the media. Let me disable that again. I don't need that enabled. NVMe configuration. So that's just the onboard one. So it's 128 gig that it comes with. I like how it's a standard 128 gig SSD as well, not soldered eMMC or anything like that. So that's fast. What's this? What we in here? Chipset. M2, key M1, 2 key M4, onboard LAN 1, onboard LAN 2. So if you want to disable LAN or anything like that, you can also do that. Under security, you can set an administrator password to stop people messing about with your BIOS. It supports secure boot. I couldn't imagine installing Windows on this. I guess you could. Use a Windows storage device, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to put Windows for it, but you can. So you've got secure boot, disabled, I don't want it on. If we do set it to enabled, I'm guessing it'll give us the standard options. So secure boot can be enabled when system is in user mode. Repeat the operation after enrolling platform key. We've got restore keys to factory and then key management. So it does have full secure boot support. Under boot options, setup prompt timeout, numlock stay, on. I do like having that option in the BIOS. Full screen logo, so you can disable the UGREEN logo if you wish. USB mass storage, so you can set your storage options here. And got boot option 1, hard disk. Well, so we can say it's a hard disk, NVMe, CD, SD, so you can boot from the SD. USB hard drive, USB CD. This is well featured. I'm impressed at this stage. So I say UGREEN had no idea what I was going to say about this. Neither did I until we got to this stage. But we're early days yet. Then we've got boot options. Got 10 boot options. So you can see, as I mentioned, it's got Debian on it. You can set the NVMe drive priorities. And finally, we've got save and exit, reset, discard. Let's go ahead and reset this. So I did mention I didn't want to strip it down. Just comes straight from UGREEN. It is brand new, so it would be a shame to break it. But I just searched for UGREEN 4800 Plus teardown, and this Morrison has done it, and he's only got 630 subscribers. But this has had 2,500 views, and he did it last year. And he did know, as at the time of this video, UGREEN OS is not available for download, so preserve the UGOS in case I ever want to go back and install it. So in this, he's actually taken the existing drive out and replacing it with a fresh one to install TrueNAS. I'm guessing that's TrueNAS scale. Let's have a quick look at this. So, right, just to see what's involved. So he's got more town halls than me. I say at least I could do what UGREEN asked me to do and cover actual getting into the operating system. We've not even got that far yet. So let's see. So he's took the drives out. As I mentioned, there's the rubber feet on the back. So he's taking them out. I'm interested to see inside this myself. He's not took the bottom plate off. I don't know if you need to. You've got better eyesight than me. All right. So here. What? Hey, go ahead and give this guy a follow. I'm Morrison, L Morrison 17. Fans plugged in. I don't know if we need to unplug that. Let me just see what it does. Yeah, so where did he unplug it? Oh, okay, so that's quite easy to get to. Unless he's doing it properly and not pulling it with your hand. No, he's got the bottom plate off now. All right, okay. So you have to push that down to get into it. Just skip this a bit. So you can see these cases are proper solid. Wow, there's not much to that. Look at that. Okay, so you say it's not soldered. It's actually a proper NVMe drive. So he's just going to take this out. I'm guessing that's his other one that he's going to replace it with. Samsung Evo. Yeah, so it just pops out, which is good to know as well. Obviously, if the internal drive ever dies, you know you can replace that. I literally would have just used DD to image the drive. But hey, at least you know if the drive fails for whatever reason, it's easy enough to replace. This video is getting much longer than I anticipated. I didn't know what to expect from this, but I was just curious myself. Right, let's actually see what happens. I'm actually going to leave the HDMI connected for now, just while it goes in, and we can see the full boot process. You can see the hard drive light sequencing, the UGREEN logo. It's got grub on it. I'm going to say we're booting into Debian here. This is silent. The drive's not spun up. So LAN is orange at the moment. LAN's flickering. Directly connect to UGREEN NAS via HDMI. Enjoy videos with ultra high definition and stable imaging. So you can also use the HDMI for watching videos if you want to plug it into a TV or something. Open UGREEN NAS app. Find the video that you want to stream. Tap the button. Choose HDMI playback from the list. Support direct playback via H.264, H.265 and other mainstream encoding formats. If no sound is received or audio tracks are not in sync with the video, please try switching audio tracks. It is a beta version. Please try to replay videos or contact technical support for assistance in case of high resource usage. Flickering screen, shaky video and other programs. So, oh yeah, I missed that. It does say beta here. Right, okay. So just typed into Google, UG find NAS. We've got UGREEN web find. I'm on Linux. I'm running Arch here, so I'm actually not sure if this will work, but we'll find out. Let's go into that. Found it straight away. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, no cookies, thank you. Right, so please select your device. So it's looking like, I mean, that was straight from UGREEN's website, just find.ugnas.com. Found instantly, but it is on the same LAN. It's not on a VLAN or anything. So if it's on a VLAN, you might need to go into, I don't know, I've not tried it, but you might need to go into your DHCP and find your router and find the actual IP. So you can see we've got the model DXP4800 Plus. It's on 10.1.10.102. We've got the serial number and MAC address. So connect to see what happens. I've read and accepted the user agreement, and I agree to share device data that does not contain any personal information and proof. Yeah, I'm not going to share any data at the moment. I'll accept that. Will it let me continue? Yes. So device name, I'm just going to leave it at default. You'll probably want to put something in so you can identify it. The user agreement, and I mean, nobody ever reads the EULA, but I'd suggest maybe copying it and pasting it into a chat GPT or something and ask it to summarize it for you to get the full details of that. Admin account. So this is the super admin. That's always annoys me. Must contain both upper and lowercase. Why isn't it letting me continue? Oh, sorry. Admin is a system account. Please use another username. Interestingly, I didn't get any MFA setup options. Maybe it'll do that in a second. Right, I've read the user agreement. Stick your email in, get verified. Bind email address is needed if you want to be able to access this remotely. So enable remote access anytime, anywhere via UGREEN link. So Synology do this as well. UGREEN's obviously newer than Synology when it comes to NAS, but even Synology have had issues with security issues with actually doing this. But I would actually recommend that you enable remote access directly to this thing via a third-party website. And I'm not saying that just because it's UGREEN. If it was Synology, I still don't believe in doing it. You can use Tailscale, Netbird, Zero Tier, one of those to get access. So do you want to skip? After skipping, you can't access the device remotely through the internet. Absolutely, I want to skip. System update method, you can change these afterwards in control panel, update and restore, update settings later. So only updates to the UGOS and apps are automatically installed. Automatically install all or notify me when they're available. If you don't want it to automatically do them, you can do that. If you want it to install all of them, select that. I don't want my NAS to reboot constantly, so we'll do important updates and then initialize. So configuring UGOS Pro, it takes a while to configure and load the system files. When the configuration is complete, the device will reboot. Don't know how long this is going to take. I have never used this in my life, so I probably wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy one. I mean, just because Synology are using proprietary drives, it's not really a deal killer for me because I usually use these for business. But when UGREEN reached out to me and said, would you be interested in looking at this? So they sent me the unit. I haven't paid for it. They sent me the drives. The only thing they've asked is, would I send them the video, mark it as unlisted and send it them so they can do any technical corrections? And they did email me back with some guidelines, but that's kind of not the way I work. I have a job. YouTube is not something I rely on for money or even expect to get money from. So, hey, there is that. They'll find how I feel about this without actually... I'm not going to make any changes to the video. You can't buy my opinion. And I try to be as transparent as possible. So they will get to see it just to be able to correct me if I've made any technical errors. So that didn't take long at all. What, a couple of minutes? Loading the UGOS Pro system files. Keep your device connected to a power source. Time left 20 minutes. Ooh, okay, it really didn't take 20 minutes. Oh, what was that beep? I'm making noises. The system is rebooting. It may take 3 to 5 minutes. Booting Debian back up. If you're interested in me installing TrueNAS scale on this or anything else, leave it in the comments below. I'll consider it. So it beeped, and actually I didn't even navigate away from this web page. Yeah, it just kind of came up straight away. Hello, welcome to the new UGREEN NAS. Get started with the user guide. Please follow the guide for a quick overview about storage apps provided by UGREEN NAS. Let's turn the lights down a bit. It's getting a bit late here. Right, okay, so this layout looks familiar. Looks very similar to Synology DSM. Okay, so as soon as we've booted into it, we've got a getting started guide that's popped up here. You'll notice system service, system update to latest version, learn more. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so we've got full tutorial. So if you're not really familiar with NAS, this seems pretty snappy to be honest. You can see all the installed apps, clicking up here. Control panel gives you instant access to basic network controls, user network, hardware, etc. App Center enables you to download, install apps. Kind of goes without saying. You set desktop wallpaper. Okay, we'll just leave it as. So great, you've learned the main feature. Get started with volume creation. We'll just leave that for a minute. Okay, very friendly. UGREEN NAS offers very practical hard drive management features, flexible layout, real-time hard drive monitoring, smart instant notification of errors, convenient external storage management, supports viewing and accessing detailed info and files of external devices such as USB flash drives, external hard drives, and SD cards. Good to know. This seems like perfect for someone doing YouTube creation, to be honest. I'm guessing that's why UGREEN are sending these out to a lot of YouTube creators. It's kind of perfect fit for them. Anyway, first let's start by creating your storage pool and volume. So the storage pool is your disk layout and volumes on top of it. So we've got 3.6 terabytes, Seagates, enable hard drive testing, can reduce data error. Actually, I'm trying to select this. Oh, I can select it. I thought this was just a tutorial. Select hard drive. Okay, we'll select them both. I like this. If you're not familiar with RAID, JBOD is just a bunch of disks. This is quite good. So basic only requires one hard drive. So you can use this with one drive. JBOD, if one drive gets damaged, then that drive will be permanently lost. Same with basic with one drive. Obviously, if you only install one drive, it's going to die. So with two drives, we can still do JBOD. We've got RAID 0. I like the way it explains all this. So data protection. So RAID 0 is basically striping. So if we've got two 4 terabyte drives, it gives us one drive that acts as like 8 terabytes. But obviously, if either of those drives die, you're going to lose all your data. And we've got RAID 1. So if you've only got 2 hard drives, this is the best option for you. Now, with RAID 1, it's a mirror, basically. But if one hard drive dies, you can take it out, replace it. That's something I'll have to look at, actually. You can take it out, just replace it with another drive and rebuild it, and your data will remain. The problem with that is it uses it's a mirror, so it copies the data to both drives. So you can survive one hard drive dying, but obviously you're going to get the capacity of one drive for storage. So I do like the way it explains all this. So you can see with RAID 0, we get 7.2 terabytes, and with RAID 1, we get 3.6 because we're only using one drive. We're using both drives for the storage, but you only get the capacity of one because it's mirrored, so if one dies. Enabling hard drive test can reduce data error risk, but may slow down storage speed. That's fine. Assign total amount, yeah, we'll go for maximum. So you could split this if you want. If you wanted to create multiple volumes, like partitions as such, you could like set it down to, I don't know, half of that for volume 1 and then create volume 2 on the other half. So just be careful of this when you're setting up and set it to what you need, because if you set it to the full amount, you're not going to be able to reduce it afterwards. Well, that goes without saying. File systems, X4, standard Linux file system, and BTRFS. So I'd recommend you go with BTRFS here. So it supports snapshopping, copying, assigning space, quarters, shared folders. I'm running Arch at the moment and it's running on BTRFS. So you can do snapshots before system updates, things like that. If something fails, then you can obviously restore from a snapshot. Or if any data's deleted and you need to restore it, you can do that. So we'll stick with BTRFS. So I'm not really sure how long UGREEN have been doing this. What would be a nice option here is ZFS. So UGREEN, if you're listening, ZFS as an option would be, this is very DSM-like. So storage pool 1, RAID 1, used hard drive, so it tells you which drive you're using. So I've only got 2 in this, which is what they sent me, which is fine for a demo. If we do decide to use it, I'll probably give it some upgrades. In fact, in the next videos, I'll look at upgrading the RAM. Can also fit some NVMe drives for cache, but we'll do that either later on or in another video. This is getting a bit long. So let's go ahead and click create. Tips. All data in hard drive 1 and hard drive 2 will be deleted. Do you want to continue? Always nice, but obviously if you're setting your drives up from scratch, I like this. You got to put your password in before you can format the drive. I might have forgot it already. I have. There we go. So you can expand the storage pools, change the RAID type, SSD cache management, and hot spare management. We've got under here performance, prioritize user read write. Oh, this is I like this option. So RAID is not a backup, and if a hard drive fails, it's designed to give you some kind of redundancy. So when syncing tasks, RAID takes storage pool a long time. So if your drive does fail, if another drive's going to fail, it's going to be during the rebuild process. So prioritize user read write is probably prioritize normal NAS usage, but we've got prioritize RAID sync as well. So if you do have a failed drive, you're going to want to go into advanced settings there and enable prioritize RAID sync. So it prioritizes building the drives over standard user data, because you want to get the drives resilvered as quickly as possible. And then you've got quick repair. You don't want to set that off as well. But yeah, we can leave that it is. Hard drives, normal. Test plan. So it's doing once a week tests, smart. Got hard drive 1, hard drive 2, once a month. So we've got a rapid test once a week, and then we've got a complete test once a month. That's under a bad sector system warning. When the number of bad sectors on the hard drive is soaring, it may indicate the hard drive is damaged. So it'll give you a warning. I'm actually quite impressed with this. So if you plug external storage in there, sure, that'll tip up. I've got one here. So advanced settings, X4 doesn't apply in this case. USB storage device, so you can disable access to USB storage. Okay, so you can see we've got this update now. So the first thing you want to do is obviously check that the system's up to date. 2 settings completed, your NAS is ready to go. Hey, this dude's like Clippy from the early days. New version update. So what's under more settings? Import root public key, update settings. So this is just where you can set, as we did during startup, and you can set a custom inspection interval for updates. Let's go ahead. Which we've got restore and reset. Let's have a good nosy around here. I must admit, this user interface is pretty quick. I've had no lag whatsoever. So we've got reset network, delete network connections and reconnect, restore other connections to their defaults. You may need to reinstall other network services or software later. Reset, restore the system configuration of this UGREEN NAS to factory default settings. If you make a mess of things and you want to start again, you can just do a factory reset. No need to mess about there. Configuration backup. So we can do cloud backup. Again, I'm not really sure that we'll look at that. I'm not connected to UGREEN, so local backup. It's just downloaded it here. And then we've got restore configuration. So I like this. If you make a mess, we can sort that out. Right, anyway, back to the update. Let's go ahead and update now. During the system update, all apps and services and running tasks will stop. After completion, the device will reboot. That's fine. So, got download progress. So this is my first time looking at this. There's this guy I want down here. 2 settings completed. What does it do? Oh, okay. It's got plenty of help. It's a very friendly system. So, great volume for using storage. Done. create your first folder to upload files, and learn about UGREEN link remote access. I might look at that. I'm not going to dive into it right now. As I said, not just because it's UGREEN, doesn't matter who it is. I'm not a fan of enabling third parties to doing it like that. I'd rather use a secure VPNs, as I mentioned before, such as Tailscale, Zero-Tier, NetBird, etc. You could probably install one of them on the NAS itself or on your router if you're using pfSense or OpenSense. You'd be able to install Tailscale or NetBird on them and access your system that way. Come on, hurry up. I know I'm not really rushing this video. For those of you that have never used a UGREEN NAS before, I'm trying to give you the full experience, as well as I'm trying to get the full experience myself. This says take 15 to 20 minutes. Do not power off or shut down the device during update. So once it's complete, the device will reboot. So yeah, any device doing an update, obviously don't interrupt the update because you'll break your system and probably have to format and start again. So yeah, I'm just trying to give you the full experience and I'm trying to learn it myself as I'm doing it because I just say, just not familiar with this at all. So far, I'm quite impressed, to be honest. So let this thing reboot again. I do like this running on Debian because that just gives you endless possibilities. Okay, you can see the two hard drive lights have gone steady there. LAN's ready. What is that at the back? Failed to start the Samba service. So the Samba service is for like Windows sharing. That's fine. I haven't set anything like that up, so it's kind of expected errors. It's not really an error, it's a warning that we've not configured it yet. There's a startup beep. Okay, guess we're back to carry on. I didn't do anything, it just came up itself. Or username to do. When I mentioned MFA before, it's not forced me to do that or anything yet. I wanted to set the password to. Alright, so to improve your user experience, you're invited to join the device improvement program. Yeah, we might do that later. Okay, what next? Let's have a root around. So we've got CPU RAM usage here, widget. This is very familiar looking. So if you are coming from Synology to this, yeah, the learning curve is not going to be too steep for you. Task center, so we can upload files. Others. Notification center. I did dismiss them. Okay, notification settings. So please select notifications source. Storage, power, desktop service, app, file service. And then we're going to me. What does that do? Oh, wallpaper settings. Language and format. So browser default. We've got standard ISO date, temperature, menu bar. Okay. What else is under there? Got reboot, shutdown, and log out. It's under here. So we've got account settings. Do you see what I did then? Just click this here. So we've gone to account settings. It shows whether you're using a cloud account or not. Email, edit all that. Account security. Please tell me you can account activity. What's under okay. So we've got an account log too. Please tell me you can enable two-factor authentication. And you can. This would have been a deal breaker for me, but yeah. I love that it's got this built in. So enter the password of the account, do that, see what options we get. Yeah, Microsoft Authenticator. You can also use other apps. I was going to say, please don't tell me I have to use Microsoft Authenticator. So you can also use other apps supporting OTP, such as Google Authenticator. So it does support MFA. What's this quota? Personal folders not enabled. Go to personal folders management and enable. Okay, let's do this bit by bit. What does this do? Return to desktop. My apps, very familiar. Did you see how quick that come up? Very familiar look. So we've got files, control panel, storage, app center, logs, support, task manager and universal search. Did you see how quick this is? I'm impressed straight away. Okay, so our task manager shows us temperature, device speed, memory. You can see network overview. Click into them. They've got the hard drive statuses, CPU utilization and temperature, GPU, memory, utilization, network, hard drive. This is starting to feel good already, to be honest. So just service processes. So we've got App Center, individual services, no right-click options to do anything with it. We've got restart and disable. I'm guessing I can't restart and disable because these are standard system services, processes. We've got terminate process options. We'll go through these one at a time. Files. It's got plenty of help. It's very user-friendly. Personal folder. So personal folder... Okay, see the options. We've got personal, shared, and user. So what's the difference? So personal folder, your exclusive space for files such as photos, music can be saved here. So that's like your home directory on Linux, I guess, or Windows. Shared folder, configure device member permissions for configure device member permissions for fast file sharing and collaboration. So the personal is obviously for you to store your own stuff, and the shared folder is to share files with your team. And then user folder, admin only. It's a collection of personal folders named after usernames on the same device. Let's go ahead and start. Create a new shared folder. We've got connect to one. So create different types of folders. And you see how it's holding your hand as you're doing this? So you can perform deletion, renaming, permission settings, and other folder operations here. Enable personal folders for use on this device. So everybody gets their own shares and not mixed in. Storage location. So select your storage location. Personal folder management. Yeah, That's kind of expected. Okay, we've got recycle bin. Right, so I've got my own personal folder. Do you have any options on here? Upload. We can upload files straight from here. Empty recycle bin. It is very personal folder management, shared folders, sharing management, file request management, file deduplication. Oh, this is awesome. Scan for duplicate files in the files, including documents, audio, video, images. So this will have an app. In fact, I know it does because it was one of the guidelines that they asked me to, something they'd like me to mention. So you can share your files and photos just like you can with Synology Photos, Google Photos. You can do the same thing here. But duplicate files, you know what it's like when you're out and you're snapping pictures on your phone. Duplicate files will find the same images or similar images and allow you to remove them. So you've got duplicate images, duplicate documents, duplicate audio, and duplicate videos. This is quite good. So, you've got exact match as well. So you can do similar or exact matching. This is awesome because it just obviously saves on space. What did I do then? Where was I? Here, management. Personal folder management. So that's where you set your size. You can put your quota. So if you're letting other people use this, you can give them a set amount of quota so they don't go filling your hard drives up. Shared folder management. I'll do that in a second. Sharing management. I should probably watch some videos on this beforehand so I actually knew what I was doing. What's under here? Enable file logs. Again, I like logs. So we can enable logging, hide user file categories. So if checked, user folders categories will be hidden. Handling files with duplicate names, ask each time, skip, overwrite, keep. We've got Unicode, allow non-admin users to access full user list for file sharing. Hide specific files, functional permissions. Allow these users to share files. I like the permissions. It seems they've thought about this. Limit on shared links. Allow these users to create file request tasks. Limit on request tasks. I'll have to find out what that is. A speed limit. Well, you can even throttle users to prevent people filling your bandwidth if you need to. Right, so that's the personal folders. That's what we were just looking at, isn't it? Let's take a look at shared folders. Let's get started. So I'm going to create a new folder, create a new shared folder. Videos. I don't know. Storage location. So if you've got more than one volume, as I said, when you're creating it, you can create multiple volumes. So select where you want to put it. You can limit usage. So you can restrict the size this can be. Hide in network. When you share files or folders with other computers on the LAN, they're always shown in network, so you can hide that here. Enable recycle bin or turn it off. Yeah, let's go ahead and create it. I wouldn't normally recommend that you, let's say this is a YouTube demo, so you'd normally have a separate admin user. I just created it for myself because I'm testing this. But yeah, read write, hide subfolders from users who don't have permission. So now we've got this videos. It's the same menu options. So we've got this videos. We've got the recycle bin, so if we delete things, we can get it back. We can upload videos, upload full folder, create shortcuts on desktop, properties. So you can see the folder name, size, again, the permissions, NFS permissions. Stick with Samba, I suppose, for now. Use the folder. So, good. Right, so that's the files part. This ain't going to appear. We're going to need to enable some kind of file sharing service, I assume. Where do I find my IP address? 10.1.10.102. So if you do need to find your IP address, you can find it here. Okay, interesting. Right, let's try and add a remote, add entry. Just call it UGREEN. Spell it right. Come on, Sam. UGREEN. Location. Yeah, come on, get off. SMB 10.1.10.102. So yeah, we've got nothing here. Let's continue on. Control panel. Where's the services? Under storage? No, control panel. Right, so we've created our file. How do I connect to it? So you can see how easy this kind of is to use. I've never used this before. I'm familiar with Synology. So they say if you're coming from Synology, it'll be quite easy for you. So we've got the user manager. Oh, there we go. So you can select either of these, and it takes you. You can see we've got all the options down there anyway, and you can go back there. Let's have a look at the file service. Somehow we need to figure out how to enable SMB. So SMB Samba is basically how you can access this from, well, I'm on Linux, but it's like Microsoft shares and stuff. So you need to enable this in order to be able to access the work group. Set it to your work group or domain, do advanced. What have we got? Hide shared folders from users who have no permissions. Record transmission logs. There's got plenty of options in here. Just a lot seems to be logged. Samba protocol supports. We've got SMB 2, 2.13. Transmission encryption mode. Disable force determined by the client. Enable service signatures. Enable SMB durable handles. So cross-protocol. File locking disabled. You're probably not going to want to do that. Enable SMB3 multi-channel. I'll do a proper in-depth video on this once I've played with it. So yeah, we just need to got Mac OS VFS module to convert Mac special characters. Enable local master browser. I'm not going to go into these too much because this is proper diving into your Windows networking and Samba networking and stuff. You can allow symbolic links to be shared, allow symbolic links across shared folders, disable multiple links from the same IP address, collect debug logs stored on the local device for trouble. There's just plenty of logging on here. Please do not reserve volumes on hard drive while creating files. Enable NTLM version 1. You probably don't want to do that unless you're on a really old machine because it's not that secure. Asynchronous reads. When SMB client requires immediate synchronization, data is synchronized to the hard drive, and then we've got enable wildcard search cache. Anyway, enable SMB, and we've got the help down here. After enabling UGREEN NAS, storage data can be connected and accessed with a local account by SMB in the same LAN. So if device name is required, please ensure that the NAS device and local computer are the same network segment. So say on different VLANs and things, but I'm diving into that right here. MAC address finder. I love this. You know, they seem to have thought about how they've set this up. Let me just copy it. You saw me messing about I could have just copied that. I didn't notice it. We'll copy that anyway. It's got Mac time machine discovery. After joining a domain, please use domain. Yeah, that's normal. So we can apply that. So that's enabled. I'll just have a look at the other options while we're here. So we can enable, it supports FTP and FTPS. So it's FTPS, not SFTP. These are advanced options, and let's say I'll dive into these further if people require me to. I'm just trying to give a quick overview here. Supports NFS, Rsync, so backup service, enable Rsync backup service. Once enabled, data can be backed up remotely to this UGREEN NAS by other UGREEN NAS devices or devices that support it. And then you've got the Rsync account and password. We've got WebDav, so you can use WebDav for accessing this. And then advanced settings, enable WSDD2 service, enables Windows Network Neighborhood for discovery. Bonjour for discovery on MacLAM. I'm not using any Windows machines here, so it's not the point. And then UPnP. So SMB is the one that we want for now. So I did apply that, didn't I? Let me see if I can connect to that now. So can't drag the window on top of this while it's in full screen. Let me try that again. So copying, having, people, it's a small thing to having the user interface, but just having the copy like that is great. Popped up on another window. Right, so will it let me do this as admin? It might not do, Where'd that go? Oh, Dolphin crashed. That was nothing to do with the UGREEN Dolphin crash when I tried to connect to it. So you can see the personal folder that we created. So this would be for me. And we've got the recycle bin for anything that delete can go into there. And then we've got videos. Then we've got the recycle bin again. Create new folder, test folder. Yeah, that was kind of easy to set up. So this is a test file. Let me save okay. Oh, that was painless. I'll get rid of Dolphin again. So that's obviously, just once you've enabled your shared folders, enable the SMB settings so you can connect to it that way. Or NFS, whichever way you're going to use this. Moving on, device connection. This is exactly the same as going through here. See, the list's identical. So we've got device connection, customized device names. So you can direct custom device names to UGREEN NAS device, so there's no need to remember IP addresses. Again, I love these. Just copy so many people don't do that in the user interfaces. This is well thought out. Remote access. So this is where you can enable the UGREEN remote access link, and there's the ID. And enable dynamic DNS. Portal settings, so you can change the ports for HTTP, HTTPS. You can set it to automatically redirect. There's got to be some certificate settings somewhere for this, I imagine. So enable HTTP2, HTTP compression, reuse port, customize concurrent HTTP sessions, and enable server headers in the HTTP response. So see what I mean about well thought out? This is disabled by default. I'd normally go through, but looking to disable things like this. Domain and LDAP. You can join to a Windows domain, and then you'll be able to obviously manage permissions that way. I can't do that, unfortunately, at the moment. Terminal, enable telnet. Don't enable telnet. So enable SSH. I like this. It's just SSH poses advanced remote management feature, but enable it for long term will increase security risks, potential unauthorized access, and to ensure data security, please only enable when needed. These have got proper sensible prompts. And then you can change the port. Even if you change the port, like changing it to 2222, that's not changing port numbers is not secure. Don't bother. Look at this, shut down later. I mean, I really didn't know what to expect when I started to look at this, but I am quite impressed with it. So, function description, use terminal to log in. Operations guide. Does that take me to UGREEN NAS? Look at this. It doesn't get much more easy than this. So you've got photos, snapshots, SAM manager. There's loads of videos on UGREEN NAS, and I was under the impression it didn't have that. Maybe it does. It's more than helpful. But But yeah, Sam manages for things like iSCSI. It's how UGREEN sent a lot of these to a lot of YouTubers. So I searched for it when UGREEN sent it me. So now I get to see all videos suggested by YouTube. Hardware and power. No, yeah, don't save. Buzzer. What? Beep scenarios. Fan malfunctions. Volume. SSD cache is abnormal. System powers on. System powers off. See, this is fan control. I'd suggest you leave these to defaults, to be honest. LED indicator settings. Look at this. You can disable the LEDs if you've got this thing sat in your bedroom or something, so you can sleep. I wish our TV did that, or the wife would turn it off. High performance, balanced, energy saving. Did I look at this? Yeah, there's no options there. So hardware and power. Power, auto boot after loss of power. So once enabled, automatic power on. So you don't need to just enable in BIOS, you can do it here. This is well integrated with this system. Schedule, shutdown and startup. They seem to have well thought this through. GPS type, USB. We've got SNMP, network UPS slave. List of compatible products. Schneider. Time and language. So London. Auto sync with time server. You can change the time server. Language, follow browser languages. Network, default gateway. So you can change that. We've got IPv6. Configure DNS server manual if you need to. Enable multiple gateways, IPv4 preferred for domain resolution, enable IP conflict detection, it does link aggregation. So, as I said, one of the ports is 10 gig. You don't have to run it at 10 gig. You can use link aggregation and set that up here. Look at this. It's got a full wizard on it. So this is telling you what link aggregation is, how it works. So adaptive load balancing, bonding, fault tolerance, active backup, mode bond 1. I'm not going to do that at the moment. We've got network bridges, so you can bridge the two ports. And it has, I was just looking, look at this. We've got full help and everything. I must admit, I didn't know what to expect, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Virtual network bridging. Look, we've got full examples of how this works. I still can't see how nothing's like lagged on me doing this yet. Service order. Drag left mouse button to sort. So data control, limit the bandwidth on the port, so you've got full port control. Security, what have we got under here? So general, without maintaining a login, the app will automatically log out after 30 minutes. All saved user sessions are cleared when the system... See how we've got sensible defaults. Enable denial of service protection. Auto block IPs after failed login attempts. What's under block management? Block lists, whitelists, automatic unblocking. Improve protection against cross-site CSRF. Improve security with HTTP CSP. Enable TLS version 1.2 or later recommended. Account security. Two-factor authentication. Manage. This just took me back to my account settings. I was just going to see if it was globally enforced everybody too. It doesn't look like you can set policies to do that. That might be something worth adding. Account activity, manage account connections and logins for all users on this device. Domain, so it supports domain and local device. I do like logs. Firewall, so enabling firewall can prevent unauthorized login. What's under here? If none of the, so you can set it to default access allowed or default access denied. Some of the rules. Allow, deny, network connection, so you can choose which port it applies to, specific ports, and then you can block on location, specific IP addresses. Cancel that. I was just nosy. Certificates. Right, okay. So this is where you can do your certificates for HTTPS if you enable it. FTPS web server. So that's where you can set the certificate for the different things if you want to do new. We can import. I was looking for Let's Encrypt. Yeah, if you use Let's Encrypt, it's a bit more awkward because you've got to expose ports and things or set configuration properly. But you can certainly import your own certificates. Indexing service. So when you're searching for things, the system has to run through and build an index, same as most computers. We've got thumbnail generation, so you can regenerate thumbnails, rebuild index, which probably will take a while, depending on the amount of data you've got. Thumbnail quality, video quality, view example. So NAS will automatically create indexes for new contents of search, range, and universal search. About, it's under here. And then we've got everything about the system. So you can see the hardware. So we've got the Intel Pentium Gold 8505, 4400. We've got 5 cores, 6 threads. Again, the hardware on this compared to Synology, for example, is night and day. It's much more modern and more powerful. A lot of Synologies are like underpowered out of the box. But we can see full status, got warranty expiration date, power time, storage. We've got all the information volumes, storages, the hard drives. We've got services. So what services are running on what ports. And then the apps. Device analysis, and again, enable web find, so that you can disable it if you don't want to be able to find UGNAS.com, because it will collect IP address and port information, refer to the privacy policy. Again, with any privacy policies, if you want to read it, paste it into ChatGPT and get it to do it for you. Let's have a look at update and restore. So already on the latest version. Manual installation, so system installation package, go to the official download the latest version, so we can manually install them. What's under here? Update set is the same as what we looked at before. Right, I think we've kind of gone through most things here so far. This is universal search. Custom range for file search available in new version, please, because settings and add. Okay, so it's just where you specify your search ranges. Again, rebuild index, enable search history. Again, disabled by default. Just need... seems to have thought this through. Is that what that is? Yeah. It's just search the NAS. Or can I search the web? Yeah. No. It's just searching this device. So we've got universal support, logs. Again, this tech. I mean, I really like how this is laid out. Automatic notification, keywords, levels, serious, module. So you can select what part of the system so you don't get pestered to death. Which user gets notified. Notification records. Yeah, do not save. Archive policy. Enable log archive policy. They seem to have proper thought this through. You can even export the logs, look. CSV, HTML, what's under here? Enable file logs, event log, transmission log. Let's have a look at support as well. Support summarizes all knowledgeable resources. So it's got like full manuals built into this. I must admit, I wasn't expecting this. Return to home page. So we've got user guides, knowledge center, contact us, so technical support. Monday to Friday from 8 till 7. NAS support, ugreen.com. Technical support. Vulnerability submission. Auxiliary tools will help. Okay, so enable remote access if you need to give their technicians access. Generate system diagnosis information. I do like this. So, right, I guess we've covered pretty much everything here. App Center is going to be probably the interesting one. In order to improve your experience, the Application Center of UGREEN integrates our services and related third-party services, and you can enable single service in the Application Center based on business development needs and experience and optimization. Click disagree, does that go off? Yes. Fine. So for application provided related third parties, we'll describe the developers and application details. Okay, so let's agree. App Store, common software, sync and backup, photos. Let's look at photos. I'll dive into this deeper later. This is one of the topics that they asked me to touch on. But I'll go into the specs of this and we'll have a look at the different UGREEN NAS devices because I'm not aware of them either. The different makes and models. This is a Plus model. So anyway, this has a maximum capacity of 136 terabytes. It can store the equivalent of 47 million pictures that are 3 meg each, 142 million files of 1 meg each, on 92,000 movies of 1.5 gig. That kind of gives you the scope of what this system's capable of. But yeah, obviously that depends on the storage of your hard drive. I mean, I was asked to compare uploading files to this into like Google Drive or something. I'm not going to do it because I'm not in a remote location, so it's obviously going to be faster doing it on my LAN than it is in a remote location, but I will cover that in a separate video. NAS common software, install 5. Most common options, sync and backup, photos, music, theatre, cloud drives. Just one click to install them all. We'll have a look at this, go on. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's install them all. They've made this really easy. I mean, these are the apps that you're going to want to install. You're going to want to install sync and backup. You are going to want photos, most likely. Photos, if I'm out and I've got a mobile phone with me, I can link it to this and have them uploaded to here. So I'm not a fan of like Google Photos and things like that. I don't believe in other people keeping my photos. So when you do that, you can back your phone up to this NAS and your data stays on it as opposed to giving all your data to Google and things like that. So let's just have a look at some of these while they're installing. And when it's a bit bigger, yeah. Okay, we've got virtual machine utility. Don't click on install. You can just click on it. So virtual machines. I like how it's showing the screenshots. So virtual machine VM can create and manage virtualized environments. You can easily set and run VMs via this app, such as Linux, Windows, and other operating systems. So you could easily install Windows on here, Linux on here, like Pi-hole, for example. And it shows you who the developer is, which we've got installed all. Let's go back to it. Now, what I was saying about the one thing I noticed about this hardware is, I say, compared to other NASs, like, I mean, custom built ones, fair enough, but compared to ones like Synology, it can be a little bit underpowered. For virtual machines, I mean, this thing can take, we'll do the memory upgrade. Probably not in this video, I'll probably do it in a different one because it's getting really late now. But you can install it to 64 meg RAM in this. So that gives you some beef for playing around with virtual machines. We've got a text edit utility, storage is already installed, SAM manager. So this is what I wanted to look at. It does support iSCSI. We've got LUN management, iSCSI target management, global settings. If there's any particular feature that you want me to look at, please just leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to look at it, because I'm learning this as I go along too. But it does support iSCSI. We've got music, obviously that's just been installed. And we can see the screen. I like how it shows you the screenshots of what you're installing, the size. So music is an app designed specifically for UGREEN NAS users to play music. Yeah, there is a mobile phone app. Firefox, Docker. I say, to be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I'm not going to get all this done in one video. Vault, effective protect sensitive data in the vault, encryption for access controlled. Yeah, so that's just encrypting your stuff. Snapshot. So I don't think this will work on X4, but definitely on BTRFS. So you're probably going to want snapshots, so we'll go with that. These are the basics apps I'm looking at installing in this, and then we'll take a look at them. Knowledge-based management system. There's not as many apps as Synology, but there's certainly enough to get you going. Security, what does that do? So security manager uses ClamIV to kill viruses, system files, ClamIV antivirus. SAM manager, we've done BitTorrent client on it. Again, photos, online office. Online Office is a collaborative office app that allows multiple people to edit, collaborate, and share documents online. Your data is stored locally in the NAS, so it's more reliable than traditional cloud environments. So yeah, it's pretty much got what you need on it. Oh, Jellyfin. There's no Plex, but yeah, it does support Jellyfin. So Jellyfin is similar to Plex, but it's open source. So open source media server. So it's doing it through Docker. What else we got? Home Assistant. For the price of this, say with the 136 terabytes of storage, 64 gig of RAM, and the 10 gig network interface for the price, Home Assistant is amazing. If you've not used it before, I'm happy to do some tutorials on Home Assistant. So we've got files, File Version Explorer. So you'll probably want to install this as well. File Version Explorer is used to record and manage the version history of all files on the NAS. Every change is traceable, eliminating version. So if somebody deletes a file or changes it, you can just revert that. Download supports various types of resources, including HTTP, FTP, BT. For the download of PT resources, this software uses BitTorrent. So we've got Docker, DLNA. So you can play media files from the NAS devices on any client that supports DLNA. So there's a lot you can do with this. That's what I mean by you probably don't want to connect it directly. Cloud drives. All right, what does this support? So NetDisk Tools is a very practical and efficient app. It can help users view and access NetDisk data at any time on the UGREEN NAS and create a fast, secure data sync between the UGREEN NAS and NetDisk based on user settings. So latest version, Web PC Cloud Drive connection list now supports drag and drop. So create a connection between Cloud Drive and UGREEN NAS. So this is a full sync. So it can use Beidou, NetDisk. We've got OneDrive, Google Drive, Quark Drive, 115 Drive, Alien Drive. So at least you've got Google and Microsoft that you can connect to. So I might dive further into these options on another stage. All right, so let me close this again. So now you can see all the apps that we've installed have started appearing here. I'll be able to get to them from here too. Yep. So if I wanted to search, come here, yeah. So it searches data and the apps that you've got installed as well. I do like that. So it's probably a hotkey for it. I'm not sure what it is at the moment. So what did we install? What else has appeared here? Sync and backup. This is interesting, so let's do this. Because obviously if you're storing data on here or anywhere else, the backup options are what we need. So sync, let's have a look at this. Easily achieve data sync between UGREEN NAS and other devices. I'll create a sync task. So sync target, so you can sync to another UGREEN NAS or you can sync this computer. So you need to download whatever that is. So UGREEN NAS allows you to manage data, backup synchronization, sharing, and it supports Mac, Windows, Apple TV, Android TV. Just the ability to sync to another NAS. You know, like I said, RAID is not a backup and you need to make sure your data is safe. Backup and restore. So we can create a backup task. What have we got here? Backup this UGREEN NAS. Backup Rsync server. Backup between storage pools. Yeah, I can see why some people would want to do that. You could you could create a backup so if anyone does to another storage pool, so if you like videos and things like that, for example, if anyone makes a mistake. But yeah, you can back up between storage pools, and then again, you can download UGREEN NAS to back up this computer. Unfortunately, I'm on Linux, so I can't go through that, but maybe I'll set Windows up just to go through this. Transmission log, operations log, so you can see full login. Administrator settings, administrator mode, what is that? Once enabled, the administrator can view and manage other users' connections in the overview. Okay. Version retention. So after enabling, the system will automatically retain historical versions of files for personal folders, shared folders associated with sync tasks. These are quite nice to have. So I'm going to do some dives into each of these because let's say this video is getting stupid. Number of retained logs, 1 million, and save time, 6 months. So when the number of all users transmission logs, just, when it'll be cleared. Speed limit, and again, so this is always useful, and I'm glad they've included it. Backup, and you don't want, if you're doing it during the day and it's doing remote somewhere else or 2A, you don't want it taking up all your bandwidth, so glad that they've thought that in. Music, library load your personal music, default location, personal music folder, and shared music, managed uniformly by the administrator by default. Configure playback settings here. The system will automatically categorize music based on music info. Personal library, so this is where you set where your storage location is. Shared library, so you can add a shared music library. Playback settings, off timer, stop when your music ends. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It's kind of a handy setting. Then you've got folders, albums, artists, recently played, my favourite. So it's got a full built-in music app. Theatre, create your first library. I'm just going to skip this for a minute. So this is where you create your library, select your language. And then the folder, so like I created videos there, so I could do that, I guess. Do you want to skip? If you don't create a library, the filter cannot be used. After skipping, you can also create the library in settings. And again, we've got recently played, favourites, folder, collection, all movies. So my videos, folder, add, and I'm going to stick it in videos. This personal shared, we'll do it. Did I just do that then? Oh, so it's already been associated, so that's fine. Right, video information, so metadata scraping. The movie database. Looking for if you need a key for this. Additional configuration, reload local information first, automatically add to collection, filter files smaller than 20 meg. Library permissions, so who can access it, supply that. Okay, let me, I've got something I can drag in there. Let's grab the last video that I did, so which one was it? This one. OpenSense 25.7.4 has been released. That's quite funky. OpenSense update delivered where's volume control? I'm actually connected locally and playing this. Obviously, normally you're going to want to do it from the app. You can just speed, got captions, full screen, settings, compatibility mode, no audio plays. But yeah, there's absolutely no issue with that. Playlist, original size, 1080p, so you can drop the size down. Okay, close this. So obviously you can't, it's one of my YouTube videos, you can't think about, I can favorite it. We can add to collection, add to episodes, I can download it, delete the source file, rescan, manual identification, what does that do? Please enter. OpenSense 25.7.4 update, edit information. So you can change the cover, background, logo, title, release date, so you can put this information in yourself. I wanted to show you. So I put that in videos and you'll notice it had a recycle bin there. My videos are in here. And if I delete that, it goes into this recycle bin, so I can still restore it. It's handy having the recycle bin there. I know it's probably not a great place to stick it in a shared folder, but let's say I'm just demonstrating this. Not even doing a proper demonstration, I'm just going through the available user options. So we've got theatre, which was just looking at. What else we've got in it? My videos, edit, rename, scan, so you can obviously manually scan for stuff. We've got all movies, TV series, others, and then collections. That's under here. Right, click library to add and edit libraries, manage use library permissions, and then you can turn, it's quite handy. Certain things you don't want in the nav menu, you can turn off. Homepage, so this is quite a good looking app. So library, data source, move database. There's a full tutorial there, host configuration. So you're going to want an API key to query the data sources. And then you've got user management, set permissions. So allow access, block access to, so you can allow access or block access to individual libraries. Background management, scheduled library scan, only new, added and modified. Identify intros and outros, only supports identifying local episodes on the NAS. Time consumption depends on the number, size and duration. So you can turn these on and off as well. So that's quite a good app. Got Cloud Drive, I did that before. Photos. So access and manage photos anytime, anywhere. Get started, and again, it walks you through and holds your hand. The shared library is now available, so you can add your own photos, got albums, it shows recents, people, locations, videos. So we can create albums, I'm not even doing this remotely, I'm doing this all from the web interface. Tools, so again, there's that search for similar or duplicate photos, sharing management, friends, custom learning, train personal models to pursue your hobbies. Okay, you can import models from your computer and NAS, or can train your new ones. It shows you what can be trained, so you can train it to be able to identify devices properly. We've got upload, view size, timeline view, folder view, information display. We'll just look at settings before I do. So we've got search. So we've got library location, so where your photos and things are stored. Shared library, so manage photos with other internal users if you want to share photo libraries. General, so upload duplicate files. So it's got ask each time, rename, overwrite, or skip. So it's got automatic duplicate files for uploading and when moving and copying. Functions allow general users to share photos, allow visitors to view photo details. Intelligent, the operation of the intelligent engine and data processing are local based. So this will consume a large amount of system resources. That's what I was saying. The hardware that these devices come with is pretty good, and you can upgrade it. So it's 230 meg, sorry. Just click download, see what options we get from here. So you've got people recognition, so you can download this to install to recognize people and then apply it to your personal library. Text recognition, so automatically recognize text content within photos. Similar duplicate photo recognition. Scene and object recognition. Pet recognition. This is that downloaded? Yeah. So we've got people recognition. Apply to personal library. What's under that? Delete this model. What's under advanced settings? So auto-generate characters. What does that do? When the number of photos reaches this set value, they will automatically be clustered into people. Use Google Photos. All your stuff's in the cloud. This stays on your machine, and this information is on your NAS. For security, this is just great. So recognize videos within 30 minutes but require more performance. After disabling, recognized videos will be retained and new uploads will no longer be recognized. What else we got? So we've got scene and object. Yeah, let's do that as well. And pet recognition, let's do that as well in case I want to find my dog. So it can automatically recognize 39 cat and dog breeds, including bulldog, British short hair. Example. I like how it's got examples for these. So that's how it does people recognition. Text recognition. That example, sorry, is it obviously showing the word hotel. Similar and duplicate photo recognition is great. Just, I'm a habit, even if I'm taking a picture of a person, do it about 20 times just to make sure I get a good one in there. So scene and object recognition, identify laptops, cameras, things like that. And this is so you can just search for it and find it that easily. Auto recognition for potentially sensitive contents. So that shows you the blur thing. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked on that. Image recognition. Enter text in the system searches for a corresponding image. Girl in red. Yeah, this stuff's pretty good the way they've got it set up. It's much more far on and advanced than I ever thought it would be. And maybe I should have looked at UGREEN a little bit sooner. So model training. Users can train models offline to recognize specific objects, photos, and can be categorized by these examples. So the AI in this stuff it's great. You know, if you're searching for your photos, you don't want to be scrolling, trying to find a picture of your dog. You can literally just do dog and it will find it. So we'll have a look at that. Snapshots. So snapshots are important on a NAS. You need snapshots for protection. Things get deleted. Like as a YouTuber, I mean, I do all my own video editing, recording and everything. So it's not really an issue. I don't really make that many mistakes. But if you're using a team to do this, if you've got a separate editor and snapshots, and just in case somebody makes mistakes, take snapshot list. What's the settings have we got? So snapshot plan. And you can set the schedule for when your snapshots are done and the retention policy. Now, notice, as I said during installation, only folders in BTRFS volumes support the snapshot feature. So 9 times out of 10, when you're setting these NAS systems up, you're going to want to use BTRFS. And then use a folder. And again, we've got exactly the same thing. So each folder you share, you can set individual snapshots up for it. My own folders, take snapshot, we've got the same options here. And then we've got File Version Explorer. Let's do personal folder. I'm just going to create a file in here. So I'll create new text file. I've got test file.txt. Let me open this. This is a test file. Save it. Let's save it here. I need to dig into this. Let's have a look at the settings. Got folder name, Sheridan, shared folder, local account. So do local account, set number. So this is where you set how many versions that you want to keep. 8. And so you can do this for like personal folders. And it's noted at the top, personal folders, shared folders with sync tasks will automatically enable retention. You can do shared folders too, so you can do it for video. You're not really going to want to do it on videos, but you certainly want it in files. Now let me see. I don't know how long it takes to actually do this. Personal folder. So this text file is here. So let's open this file again. Oh no, I deleted this file. If I save that, I have no idea how long it's going to take to notice. Refresh straight away. You can see the times that did that. If you make changes to a file, this is so handy to have, especially in a NAS. And this is why you should use a NAS for saving all your files. How often do you overwrite a file? Obviously, we can see the file here. And then when we go into it, we can just download it. So if I do version histories, and then this 21, download the computer, or I can copy it back to first personal folder. And when it skips, I can overwrite it. I'm going to overwrite, confirm, and added task to task center. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. If I pull this back over, you can see this is the one that we changed to 31 bytes. This is the restored one, I'm guessing, 2 minutes ago. And this is a test file. Can you see how useful that is? It's quick enough. It was pretty much instant. So then we can download it, copy it back to the same location that it was. This is just so great. In fact, why is it not seen there? Oh, it has. It's there. So that's really good. Now, if I were to delete it, can I delete it from here? Yeah, there's my files. Actually, because I didn't have any files on here, I'd not looked at this and what options are available. So you can see my music and photo stuff's now up here because I've installed the photos. We've got the text file that I first created and then the one that I amended and updated. I don't need any of these. But what options do we have? Open. Previewing files in the current format is unavailable. Okay. Download, copy or move to. So you can move files rather than just copying them. We can add them to a compressed file, or we compress as and create a compressed file from it. We can create a shortcut on the desktop. We can share that externally. So sharing files probably needs a UGREEN account to do this. Obviously it will do. But then you've got allow download. You can set access password and access limit. I like this actually. How many times do you use cloud storage to upload something? You can do it from here. What else did we have? Properties. It's just telling me how much space is used, creation time, modification time, past version. That straight away, past versions. So I don't even need to go into file version. I can literally just go straight to past versions. And then we've got obviously the quick shortcuts down here. Copy, cut, rename, and delete. So let me delete that. And then we get the warning. Delete. Yeah. And again, if I deleted something by accident there, I can go into recycle bin, right click, and then you can either delete it completely, restore and then open the location. So I'm going to just restore that on that, for example. I hope this shows how important a NAS is, no matter where they're from. Just complete file management. What speed are we connected at? Is there any way to find out? Doesn't actually show what speed I'm connected at. Was it in about before? Network? Oh, there it is. So I was going to try and show off some speed stats. I can't really do it at the moment because I've not got a 10 gig from here. So we're only connected at 1 because I'm split off through a switch over there. It'd be good for if UGREEN actually added that to here so you can see what your connection was. That'd just be handy straight off. Right, so we've covered most things on this. As I say, this is the first time I've come across this. I probably should have wrapped this up a while ago, but I'm just going to have a look at the virtual machine stuff just because I'm curious, so maybe you want to as well. Right, so let's install that. I'm going to install Docker as well, actually. If you're interested in me doing a video on Jellyfin, leave it in the comments below. I've never used it, so learning experience for me. Let's install Docker as well and see what options these give us. I do like this. This was similar to how the Synology stuff works, but how you can see hard drive slots and which slots have actually got drives in them and things. So it's got time remaining, 28.5% done. Doesn't actually show me how long it's been going for. Docker's waiting for this to finish. Oh, there we go. So that was pretty quick. Docker should kick off. It is doing. See, that's going fairly fast. Right, let's take a look at the virtual machines and what you can do here. So please select a volume. Done. So you might, like to say, when you're setting this up, you might want to create a separate volume for this. So you can manage volume, manage network, manage image. What does that do? Where are we storing? Network. Okay. So this system provides virtual subnets in bridge, NAT, and host-only modes for VMs. So you can see we've got VNet bridge 0, VNet bridge 1, and LAN 1, LAN 2. And these are the default settings. We can add a network, NAT, host-only, choose the physical network that we want to use. IPv4, you can set IPv6 on it. Image, so no image, but we can upload from NAS, from local computer. I'm not actually going to dive too much into this at the moment. We've got Docker installed, level ordinary. What does that do? Export CSV, HTML. If we do new VM, so we can import virtual machine. So it supports image, VMDK, QCal2, and VDI, and OVA. So you've got plenty of import methods. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a separate video. So create manually. So we need to choose an ISO, upload manually. That's definitely its own separate video. But the fact that we can do virtual machines off here. In fact, I'm going to buy some more RAM for it because it only has 8 gig on it, and then we can have a proper play with it. 8 gig's plenty for storage, by the way, as it comes. Have a scroll down to Docker. Let's open this. Disclaimer. The Docker app only provides the capability of the official Docker-based components. Users are solely responsible for container configuration. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Oh, this is a nice interface. Docker can be a pain, and this is This looks quite easy to do. We've got tutorials. Deploy the Alias Cloud Drive Mount service. Base row created using Docker Compose runs normally, but the container automatically. Shut down after creation. How to deploy the Shinobi open source video surveillance system. I was gonna say, obviously I'm not trying to compare this to Synology. It's just got a similar interface. It looks like they designed a lot of it off it. Now, one thing that Synology does have is surveillance station, which is pretty good. But you can do Shinobi this way as well. How to build a Home Assistant smart home with system Docker. So it's got full instruction on building Home Assistant. Say if you've never played with Home Assistant before. So we've got resource, upload, download, CPU, what's on the project, create. So name, storage path, just paste in the YAML. Containers, add a new container. Please access the image, paste, download, yeah, that's fine. So we can import from the computer or from the NAS itself. Image, I keep saying this, but still, do you see how quick this is? I know these are obviously just normal Docker images. So Jellyfin, Ember, Transmission, Ubuntu, Nginx. Pronounced Nginx. It's actually spelled Nginx. That's Nginx, not Nginx. Nginx. Image database. So only official images of Docker. So we've got Memcache, Nginx, BusyBox, Alpine. Create new image from package source from NAS. And then the network, we've already seen that. Logs, again, we've got plenty of logs and management. File migration, the user data of Docker apps, containers, images, configurations is migrated to the new volume. New user data generated in future will also be stored on the new volume. So this just allows you to migrate machines from one Docker images from one machine to another. So I probably will do some more videos on virtual machines and Docker. My videos kind of get done in one shot. I don't go scripts, if you've noticed. And I've never used UGREEN before, so this video is more aimed at whether you've used the computer before or not. What to expect. Did a look at that. Create dash short automatically when new apps are installed, or you can turn that off. That's good. Auto update settings, update important versions of all apps automatically, update apps automatically. Is there anything else I just want to dive into while I'm here? I don't think so. I think I'm about done at this stage. But yeah, I am nicely impressed, to be honest. I'm going to have to dive into this a lot more. So this is obviously going to be more than one video. Before we wrap this up, we should have a look at the security and privacy around UGREEN. So looking at the website, UGREEN NAS meets the ETSI EN 303645 cybersecurity standard. What does that mean? And is Trust E privacy certified? Well, the ETSI EN 303645 is basically the IoT cybersecurity baseline. So that basically means you've ticked all the big boxes and no default passwords, secure firmware updates, encrypted communications, and proper data handling. It's nice to see that UGREEN are taking security and privacy seriously. So what is the Trust E privacy certified? Well, it focuses on how data is collected, stored, shared, and deleted. Not just on device security, it verifies that the company's privacy policies, practices, and disclosures comply with regulations such as GDPR, CCPA, CPRA. So in short, the ETSI EN 303645 is technical and cybersecurity baseline, how the device is protected, and the Trust E certified data privacy and transparency assurance, how your info is handled. So they are complementary, and together they mean secure by design and responsible with your data. If, like me, you wasn't very familiar with UGREEN when it comes down to NAS devices, I hope this video helped. UGREEN took quite a gamble sending me this device. I could quite have easily have ripped it apart as I could have done praise it. I wouldn't have particularly gone out of my way to acquire a UGREEN device because they're so new to the market. They reached out to me at exactly the right time with the drive lock-ins from Synology. So I'd like to thank them for sending me the DXP4800 Plus. This is a device I definitely look forward to making more videos on. I am impressed by the device. Now, not only did they gain my approval, I'm also quite happily sell this device to my clients as well. It was a bit of a deep dive because it was my first experience with it, which is kind of why the video dragged on a little bit, because I kind of couldn't put it down once I started with it. So it would be nice to see some additional features, like Synology has the Office 365 backup, the surveillance station. It would be nice to see ZFS introduced on this device as well. But if you'd like to hire us for any IT consulting, please head across to SheridanComputers.com. If you're still with me at this part of the video, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.